How often do you find yourself forgetting to ask for a review when everything goes right? Or maybe you do remember, but it's just not as often as you would like. Well, the way to solve that is through automation. So today what we're going to do is we're going to set up a completely automated review request campaign. I'm going to go over all of it with you, and at the end of this video you're going to know how to do it, or you're going to have a template to where you can just plug and play this in when you join our free Wealthy Contractor community and you import the template to your Go High Level account. So let's hop right into it. First things first, I just want to go over how this is going to work, and it's pretty straightforward. What happens here is when a project is complete, you'll move that project in the pipeline, right? So I can show you here what that looks like. Say you have this nice lead pipeline here, move through the stage, you won that job. Now you've completed that project. You just scoot that person over to project completed, and that's going to trigger this campaign. Then what's going to happen is instead of just automatically asking the person, hey, would you leave us a review? We all know that sometimes it's not as ideal as you want. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask them, how was your experience first, right? So we're going to get a feeler, and then what's going to happen is the automation is going to look for positive or negative intent with the person's response. Based off that, we're either going to send them a review request or request feedback. In our advanced Wealthy Contractor community, we actually go over how to make this part here into artificial intelligence so that it can actually take that feedback and respond accordingly, because sometimes maybe it's negative intent, but there might be one simple response that you can do to turn that negative intent into a positive intent and then get a 5-star review out of that. So just a heads up there, don't miss out on that. So now that we know how it works, let's go ahead and build it real quick. I'll show you how easy it is. So we're going to go over to our automations tab. This is our white label of Go High Level, by the way, so yours might look a little bit different. We white label it as trade growth, and that's basically just so we have a simple way to build stuff out for clients and then transfer those accounts out, rather than me having to log into, 300 different Go High Level accounts. Anyways, how we do this here is we go into the lead pipeline, and what we're going to do is we're actually going to create a folder real quick. We're going to call that project complete, because I like to keep things organized. And so all of these match the stages of the pipeline. So we know exactly where someone's at, exactly where the automations are at, and how to get to them. Super organized. So we'll create a new workflow in that project complete folder. We're just going to start from scratch. What I like to do first is just name it, and that's another way of planning out and knowing what we're going to do. So we're going to say moved to project completed. Do a nice little arrow there, and then we're going to do intent check, review request, or send feedback. Cool. So first things first, we're going to add a new trigger, and I'll move myself over here for now, actually, because all the options are on the right hand side here. And we're going to search for opportunity, because we're going to do pipeline stage changed. And then we're going to add a filter. We're going to select in the pipeline, and this is the leads pipeline. And then we're going to select the pipeline stage, which is project complete. So what this means is the trigger will be when someone enters into that project complete state, then what? That's the trigger. And now we say, okay, what happens now that that trigger has happened? So again, we'll pull up our test here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to text this person, right? This is going to be SMS. All right, so we're going to do SMS. And we're just going to say, hey. And we're going to use these custom values. We're going to do first name, so it's super casual. Thanks so much for working with us. Real quick, how would you rate your experience with us on a scale from 1 to 5? And we'll actually name this SMS 1 to 5 scale. And then what's going to happen is we got to wait for contact reply to that text message. And then we can set a timeout here too. And so if it times out, we could say after 2 days this times out. And then it'll give us a branch of what to do when it times out. And so if after 2 days, we could just send a follow-up, right? And then so basically what we'll do here is we'll just copy all actions from here and paste them. And then we'll just reset it. I just wanted to follow up and see how you felt about your experience working with us. Cool. Okay, so this first one here, what we're going to do is now that it waits, it's saying what's going to happen after the response happens. And so what we're going to do is an if step, and we're going to do contact reply, replied message, contains 1, contains 2, duplicate 3, duplicate 4, duplicate 5. Cool. So, and then we'll name this 5 rating, 4 rating, and so on. So this is basically, because maybe they'll say like, oh, it was great, I rated a 5 or something like that, right? So we're not going to do an exact match on the number, but we're just going to say if it includes any of these numbers, then what do we do? And so now what you're going to see is a bunch of different options built out here. I promise, guys, this is way easier. Don't let any of this stuff like overwhelm you at all. So what you're going to do next is a little bit based off preference, but what I like to do is if it's 1 through 3, then I'm going to ask for feedback, right? So I'll send a text and I'll say, hey, I'm so sorry to hear that you would rate us so low. What feedback did you have for us in order to make this better, right? So we'll go ahead and do that. SMS. I'm so sorry to hear that. What feedback do you have for us? So after this one, what we'll do is another wait for response. And then we're going to do wait for contact reply, and they're going to reply to this SMS. And then we're going to do an internal notification. We're going to do an SMS to the assigned user. And then we're going to send them that message body, which would be the message from the wait step. And we'll say, hey, contact full name, responded to the review request with feedback. Here it is. And then it should just pull it up right there. And we'll save that. We'll just stop it there because then obviously you would get the feedback and then you could respond accordingly to that. But you could also send another SMS and say, thanks for your feedback. We're going to review this with the team and see how we can improve. So let me rename this to feedback request SMS. Cool. And then we're going to copy all actions from here. We're going to paste them there. We're going to paste them there. And we're going to paste them there. And then on the fourth one, we might not say like so low. We might say, thank you so much. What would we need to do to turn that into a 5? And then internal notification, responded to the review request with how you can get a 5-star review. And then 2 and 3 can remain the same. And then 4, we can just say SMS. And that's great to hear. We're hoping to provide that same experience to other homeowners in the area. Can you help us out by leaving a 5-star review for us on Google? I'll send you the link. and then save, and then maybe we'll do a wait, and we'll just do a time wait. And so this one we might do like 0.25 minutes. So that should be like 15 seconds. Save action, and then we'll do an SMS. And we're just going to send them our link. So we'd go to Fused Media, just for an example, get more reviews, copy this link. Here you go. Thank you. Great. Now that is done, that side of like actually getting the feedback and sending the request. And then again, we can go on this right side here. So initial response, rate us. If they don't respond, we can ask again and follow up. And then we can wait. If they respond, what we can do is we can set up a go-to action, and we can send them here so it can check the conditions. And what I'll do as well is match it on a scale of 1 to 5. So that we're asking, 1 to 5, how they would rate us. So then it would come down and it would go to this condition, and then it would send them through everything else that we already created there. And we could do this branch as many times as we want, right? Wait 2 days, follow up. Obviously you don't want to like have a year long every 2 days following up with someone for a review, because I think that's how you get a bad review. But you can space it out too. You could do 2 days, and then maybe you could do 3 days, and then maybe you could do one last one another 3 days out or something. But that is how you set up a review request campaign. Pretty simple. Don't let the amount of nodes here deter you away from building something like this. It's pretty simple, but again, I'm making it even simpler for you. All you have to do is join our Wealthy Contractor community, and you can upload this exact template here. And it comes with a couple other templates in it as well, like a reactivation campaign template, an appointment follow-up template, a quote follow-up template, a new lead nurturing template, and a referral request template. So all 5 of those things would be included in this snapshot. All you have to do is just join the free Wealthy Contractor community and set up your Go High Level account using our affiliate, and it'll automatically get loaded into your account, or you can just import that template from joining the free community as well. So hopefully this helped you guys out, and then all you need to do is save it and publish it. Well, you have to save it again after you publish it, and it'll work. So then all you would have to do is come into your CRM section here, your opportunities section, scroll over to the jobs that you've won, and drag that person over to the project complete, and that's going to trigger them into this workflow and send them through that review request campaign. So that's it. If you guys got anything out of this video, then I just request leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what other sort of things that you'd like to see from us. And again, don't forget to join that free Wealthy Contractor community. If you want us to customize this stuff and build more advanced stuff for you, then just click the link below to book a call as well. And I'm happy to chat about what that might look like for you. We'll see you guys on the next video.